Top five.
Five.
Now, I'm pretty sure outside of you with SGA, I think me and Gio have the same 5 players in the top 5, but don't disclose
No,
anything.
You have LeBron top 5.
No.
What?
Where was LeBron for you?
LeBron was number 9.
All right. Who you
Okay.
got? Tell us.
You have I think he has LeBron in his top 5, so never
Wow.
mind. Yeah, because LeBron
That's
plays
crazy.
SGA.
No, LeBron's not in my top 5.
Oh, then never mind.
LeBron was at 9.
All right, so Anthony Edwards is in his top 5. So get
Correct.
into your top 5.
5 is Tatum. 4 is AE. 3 is Giannis. 2 is Luka. 1 is Joker.
Say it one more time. 5
Tatum.
is Tatum.
AE.
AE.
Giannis.
Giannis.
Doncic.
Doncic.
Jokic.
Wow. So you have Doncic, Jokic. Okay.
I would probably say I would swap Tatum and Edwards.
Yeah.
I would
Agreed.
swap Tatum and Edwards, and I think that's a good top 5.
Okay.
Really no qualms with anything else, really. I think the top 3 is perfect. I think the top 3 is quite standard. Again, Luka and Giannis, I feel like are interchangeable.
Yeah, I agree.
they are
2 and
right
3.
now.
At 1, it should be one person.
It should only be one person.
It should be one person.
So,
Me.
yeah, sure.
Julius Randle.
Do you want me to read my top 5?
Let's
Yeah,
hear
go
it.
ahead.
Number 5, I have Jason Tatum. At number 4, I have Oraman. At number 3, I have Giannis. Number 2, I have Luka Doncic. And at number 1, I have Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
And I think there's actually, after Luka, there's like a really massive gap before number 1.
I think Luka's going to close that gap.
I don't think it's that massive, but
No, I
there's
think-
definitely a gap.
I think it's a big
He
gap.
needs to get better defensively, and he needs to stop complaining.
Luka?
Yes.
Yes. But even still,
That's
I think
his big thing.
even if he does that, I still think the gap is quite large.
That's what you just said is precisely why I have Luka at
Luka-
3.
Because in my
not at 2.
in my opinion, I think Giannis will probably, because Giannis was injured this season. I think a better season will overtake Luka.
Yeah.
But go ahead, read your top 5.
So I'm going to start with number 1. So number 1 is going to be Jokic.
Okay.
Number 2 will be Giannis, not Luka,
Okay.
because he plays both sides of the
Yeah,
this,
of course.
of the game.
Right.
And then I got Luka at 3, Tatum at 4, SGA at 5.
I'm shocked you have SGA in your top 5. To be
Yeah.
honest, I know you're not an SGA believer.
No, I liked SGA. I wanted him to win MVP for a second there, but
Oh, that's right, you did. No, you wanted
Yeah.
Luka to win MVP.
I wanted everyone to win MVP at one point. You name it, I wanted them to win MVP.
I am perfectly fine with putting Giannis second because
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're interchangeable, like Tyler said.
Where would you say, like, can we get like a real life comparison of the gap between Jokic and either Luka or Giannis?
I think Giannis
As of
is a
right
lot
now.
closer to Jokic than we think. I genuinely think that.
I
don't
disagree.
think Luka. I think the gap between Giannis and Luka and the gap between Jokic and Giannis is about the same.
Well, let me say this. So I think Giannis is closer to Joker than Luka is, but I still think the gap is large.
Giannis is closer to
Joker.
Joker.
But I think, just obviously based off of last season, you have to put Luka second.
Right.
But I still think like the gap between Jokic and Giannis is still massive in my
I don't think it's
opinion.
massive.
Giannis has to pass more.
I think the thing with Giannis for me is the playoff success. Because yes, you won a ring, you won a championship, but outside of that year, and it was questionable to begin with, what else have you done in the playoffs? Giannis hasn't gotten out of the first round since he won the since Game 7 against the Celtics.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that go into that. You know
Right.
that.
I
Same,
I
Nuggets
understand it. But
had
again,
a blunder last year.
The
so.
best ability is availability. And yes, Giannis was hurt, but you did lose to an 8 seed and a 6 seed in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So Jokic is
They were
someone
upsets.
Jokic is someone in shape. He doesn't get hurt very often.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it was his fault of why they lost to Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, and obviously it wasn't Giannis.
So we're speaking of health, but when they're both like at the top of their game, I don't
still
think there's
think-
that massive of a gap.
I still
really
think
don't.
Jokic is a more complete player than Giannis.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he passes way better. I mean,
He
he's
also-
probably the best
he
passer
runs
in
the
the league,
offense.
and he's like 7 foot.
Right.
So
He runs the offense. He does it all.
Exactly.
He's not a cone on defense like everyone says he is. So obviously Giannis is a better defender, but I would still say there's like a big gap between Jokic and the field
okay.
for me
I mean,
personally.
From my point of view, I'm thinking of defense is huge for me. Jokic, he's an average defender, I would say.
I think to the
I would say he's an average
to the
defender.
naked eye of what a defender is, you would say he's average.
He's definitely not above average.
Well, the analytics show that he is.
How so?
His defensive box plus minus is better than Michael Jordan's as far as career goes in the playoffs. So he
Okay.
does a lot of the little.
But I feel like
things on
plus
defense.
minus it has a lot to do with team defense more so than like
Well,
individual.
Well, that's standard plus minus. The box plus minus works in a different way. It's a little confusing, but his just all those advanced stats like defensive win shares and deflections and a lot of the stats that don't show up on
He has
the
good
typical.
hands.
Yes, quick hands, defensive rebounds.
I
He
see.
is clear the best in the league at.
But he's definitely not a guy like he's not like a presence. I feel like the reason why he has a bunch of deflections is because when you look at Jokic, you're like, oh, I can challenge this guy. I can go up
Exactly.
against him.
Yes.
That's probably why he racks up on the deflections because
Right.
he's not much of a presence in the paint.
Giannis
You're like
is
more like
of
Giannis
your-
is more like I'm not trying to go in the paint against that
Right.
guy.
Giannis is not an on-ball defender, though. Giannis is a help defender,
Yeah.
which is where he thrives in.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets all those blocks and everything. So it really just comes down to how you view it. I do think Giannis is a better defender than Jokic is, but Jokic's offensive capabilities are way better
I wouldn't say that.
than Giannis.
I would say they're better because he can do more. But I would never say way better.
I only say way better in the sense that Jokic can shoot and Jokic can play make.
The Jokic can play mate. Giannis can shoot a little bit. They both shoot about the same. I would
I think
say.
it depends. When Jokic is on his shit, the threes falling like
Yeah.
Steph level, like 48% from three in the playoff run.
I think that was a little bit of cheese. I don't think he'll ever
Well,
shoot like that
just
again.
from the one, yeah, obviously. But yeah, I do think there's a gap.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah,
There's a gap.
There's a
It's
gap.
It's not massive.
Like I can't at this current moment, I can't listen to any arguments for Giannis at number one.
no,
No.
I can't.
I
I can't
agree
listen
with
to
that.
anyone.
I would. Yeah, there's no chance. But I wouldn't say the gap is massive. I would say Giannis has a chance to pass him.
There's a
this
chance
season.
too. I think he needs
So,
to prove himself because
yeah.
I still think that ring doesn't prove to me of Giannis.
You're a little biased though.
I am biased, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like the amount of times Middleton bailed that man out was just crazy.
Well, you need teammates, man. You can say
You
the same
need-
thing about Jamal Murray bailing Jokic
Right.
out.
But at the end of the day,
threes,
Jokic
whatever.
never had a bad game in that playoff run. Giannis had bad games in that playoff run.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I stand with it. But it's all right.
All right.
So that was the list.
Well, look, I'm rooting for Jokic. Let's get that championship.
Yes, sir.
Russ,
Yes,
let's
sir.
go. So, yeah.